Mid-century architectural principles from one of its most respected forebearers, Frank Lloyd Wright, has inspired the design of this home in Victoria that intuitively connects with its landscape and a modern family lifestyle. I'm Lachlan, and this is Ellie. This is one of the first projects that we worked on as a practice, called Gingilla House. The clients came to us after a frustrated pickup conversation with a friend of ours talking about their build and construct project was about to kick off and that they were not so excited about spending $1 million, so they suggested they got in touch with us. For broader site context, Highton sits above Geelong to the southwest with sweeping views of the Cattery, Geelong town and the bay beyond. The elevated site captures breezes off the bay. Highton expanded rapidly post-war, so the prevalent original stock is mid-century modern. We're now seeing the second and third generation of families moving into the area, and strong family themes run through. We wanted to acknowledge the history of the area and the philosophies which underpin it. As you can see, Highton has varying degrees of alts and adds in the area, and lots of questionable examples of how to build a new house today. So we wanted to demonstrate a better way. In addition to the project's site's natural features, the quiet residential streets built fabric guided the design, and the significant presence of the mid-century modernist style in the surrounding houses provided limitless inspiration for the design process.
So this was the existing dwelling that was sitting on the site. It sat towards the front and the higher part of the site. It had a poor connection to all the outdoor spaces. The elevation of the site did mean that the house had fantastic views, but it was in danger of being built out. It also had great established plants, typically mainly around the bottom end of the site, which was fantastic for giving the family lots of privacy. Our design response, we wanted to ensure a sense of arrival and managed revelation. We worked with the two side boundaries to maximise program towards the front of the site and higher up on the site to capture the views and breezes. Bedrooms were spread across 2 levels, with the parents' wing enjoying the most elevated position facing the northeast. Stacked program allowed dual living zones to the family to grow into. They had 2 girls, and the different ways that they will entertain and function for years to come was ensured through this program.
An early comment or request from the clients instantly reminded us of a movement that came late in Frank Lloyd Wright's career. Called Usonia, this was a word Wright used to refer to an idealised vision of the United States at its democratic zenith. Usonia, Wright imagined, would be a nation of modest but comfortable, well-made and beautiful homes for the working middle classes. Usonia embodied an idea that proper architecture could shape culture, design could make the world a better place. A beautiful house, Wright thought, would inspire its residents to eat better, dress better, listen to better music and be better people. What better place to start an idea with? As you can see, these houses were designed for their occupants and not to show off to their neighbours. In the essence of Usonia, and responding to one of the clients' early comments, that they wanted to project humility to the street, we used the building's tectonics to close down to the street and open up to the rear yard. The floating roof plane sits atop clear-story windows, which give a glimpse of what's to come as you descend under the roof plane on the verge. An opening to the rear, bringing nature into the home and meaningful access to the yard. Here you can see the wedge shape of the site manifests into 2 rigid floor plans which converge around the living space on the front of the house. The element which negotiated this convergence is the rammed recycled concrete wall. The rammed recycled concrete spine staples the land and helps retain the slope, akin to the monolithic works by Michael Heiser, and provided a structural reference point which guides the eye to the view. Here you can see Heiser's City in Utah, a project that was conceived in the middle of last century, and after 50-something years of construction was announced complete only a few years ago. Its monolithic confidence insists on permanence and a longevity which is becoming less and less prevalent.
The form of it acts as a pragmatic separator and meanwhile a constant point of reference in the dwelling. While staunch in its form, its material, rammed recycled concrete, embodies further carbon offset and delivers a rich textural offset to both the interiors and exteriors. Its mass and material combined to, perhaps more subtle than Heiser's City, suggest a longevity for the family and the next generation. Moving from the communal living spaces of the upper floor and into the parents' side of the first floor floor plate, you find yourself in a private and tranquil wing with views to the north, quiet to the south towards the street, and an enveloping middle pod which housed the robes and bathroom. The use of natural materials here helps to ground the home on the sloping site with the benefit of mature established trees at the rear. We use clay bricks, rammed earth and black butt timber and a stone to really give this a natural feel. With a large flat roof, we looked at ways to draw light deep into the floor plate, which ultimately came in the form of 2 skylights. The first was open to the sky and outside of the building at the front entrance. It provided a whimsical play of light at the front door of the house. The second, being a skylight over the middle of the home and above the open staircase, it flooded the first floor with light while also trickled light down the stairs and into the lower floor of the house. Timber is a prominent material used in Gingilla House. It speaks to the Usonia and the mid-century housing stock of the area. It's a rich and warm material which we love using for robust family homes. And it also happens to be the client's material of trade. Here you see the front door and entry, which stored cloaks, school bags and a powder room for guests. It was purposefully lower than the ceiling to let the clear story windows flood light over the joinery and into the house and allow those views through from the entry. As we move deeper into the upper floor, it opens up to the family room along the rammed earth concrete wall towards the view. The dining and kitchen sitting beside the living room purposefully has a large window directed over the pool. This was to enable a connection to outside for watching children and when entertaining. The clients wanted colour in the kitchen to add some warmth to the layers of timbers throughout. We used a light coloured stone and then added a rammed earth leg to the end for a supporting area for seating areas at the kitchen island. The green was then a nod back to the landscape, bringing the outside in. The rear with 2-storey windows opens towards the back garden, which for this family was the heart of the site. Allowing different zones to entertain from both levels, it gives a varied program for the house to adapt to the family's lifestyle for years to come. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.